Hello and welcome to a special bonus episode of YXE Underground. I'm Eric Anderson, and I hope you had a great holiday season. You might be wondering why we're listening to Broadway music right now. Well, the reason has to do with one of Saskatoon's longest-running fundraising events. For 13 years, Swinging with the Stars has paired community leaders with professional dancers for a night of entertainment and raising money for the Saskatoon City Hospital Foundation. This year's event is on Saturday, January 31st at TCU Place. The theme is Broadway, and Chris Sikorsky cannot wait. Chris is the co-owner of Sikpics Productions and a Swinging with the Stars alumni. He is also a Swinging with the Stars committee member and was kind enough to share his passion for the event with me for the podcast. We met at Sikpics headquarters in downtown Saskatoon, and I had so much fun listening to Chris share stories of why this event means so much to him and his own experiences of being one of the dancers a few years ago. We also touch on why Saskatoon is so great at coming together as a community to support fundraising efforts like this. Before we get to our conversation, I want to mention that Chris and the committee have generously donated 2 tickets to this year's Swinging with the Stars event to give away to a lucky listener. I'm giving them away on Instagram, so make sure you follow YXE Underground for a chance to win a pair of tickets. And just a reminder that a new episode of the podcast drops Thursday, January 15th, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Okay, let's get to the conversation. Chris and I sat down in the lounge of Sikpics Productions, and I started by asking how he first became involved with Swinging with the Stars.
We were brought on about 8 years ago, but I remember before Sikpics Productions, I worked at CTV News, and I would be sent out once a year to cover this absolute banger of an event, of a party. And I remember I'd get some clips, and we'd capture the action and showcase the winners. And I always thought, wow, what a cool event! I'd love to get more involved. And so fast forward. Sikpics, we're doing our thing. We're partnering with many charities, businesses, organizations in Saskatoon, and the foundation came knocking and asked to partner with Swing with the Stars. And so this goes back about 8 or 9 years now. We started working with the foundation, working with the show, and producing the vignettes, the little video features of each participant that is in action at the big event, of course, right? So it gives a little bit of context to the people in the room about who these community champions are. And so we've worked closely in that capacity, but then 2 years ago I was brought on to participate myself. So the foundation said, hey, it's time for you to jump on the other side of the camera, and I'm not a dancer. Let's just put it that way. So it was super foreign. I do have a stage background and performance experience, but dancing was just a whole other thing, and I was quickly humbled. But my amazing partner, Kennedy Haney, turned me into a bit of a dancer. We had an awesome little routine there, and we had a lot of fun. And so we happened to raise a lot of money while we were at it, and it just checked all the boxes for us. It was such a feel-good experience, and scary but exciting at the same time, which is often the sweet spot. So yeah, it was an awesome experience, and this year we've jumped on, Kirsten and myself, to participate and help out the committee in the organization, the behind the scenes, and planning the event, and hopefully elevating things and creating an incredible party this year.
There are so many threads I could pull from that. Can I start with when you first started to learn the dancing part? What was that like for you?
Well, the first rehearsal with Kennedy, again, as someone with no experience, it was something. I do remember, well, she loves this story. The first rehearsal, I can't even remember the move exactly, but down I go and smash my knee, and it was a whole thing, and she eased me into it, but somehow I still couldn't stay on my feet. So yeah, again, incredibly humbling. Dance is no joke. This is what we've learned. And so to take, in most cases, participants do not have a dance background. Some of them might, and maybe they're, shaking the rust off and getting back in the saddle rather. So for me, though, it was totally foreign, and by the end of it, it was like, okay, my body can do what my brain is telling it to do, and that was kind of the biggest issue at the start, right? It was like, okay, it's, it's this leg here, and your arms are going this way, and your body's, and it sounds simple enough, but then try to pull it off. So
it's crazy because I'm just thinking back to I work with a gentleman at Sherbrooke. His name is Corey Brinkman, and Corey's an amazing dancer. Him and his wife have gone across North America to dance like professionally and stuff. And so I was at a wedding this past summer, and everyone's sort of like wedding dancing, and then Corey and his wife come on the dance floor, and it's like whole other level, and everybody left the dance floor and just watched them because it's like this is dancing. So like when you were finally performing and sort of looking back on it now too, like, is there a sense of accomplishment? Like, yeah, like I did this.
For sure. I think, again, anytime you're able to do something, how do we say it? It's a little skiting. Is that how you say it? So scary and exciting. Oh, yeah. You might have to double check that one. But yeah, that's the sweet spot, right? So does it scare you? Are you excited about it? Then you got to jump. You got to say yes, right? And so it just checks too many boxes for us to say no. And so looking back, yes, incredible sense of accomplishment, but also gratitude, because there was a lot of supporters. This was certainly a team effort in regards to my fundraising campaign. I think of the partners, the clients, the friends, the family that supported and donated to the cause. And as a participant, it's a bit of a unique position to be in, to get on the horn and ask all your friends and family and people for money, right? And so you just have to remind yourself that you're not going to Vegas with these donations, and it's not necessarily a selfish thing. This is going towards our bleeding healthcare system and the Saskatoon City Hospital Foundation. So I think it's something everyone can get on board with. You're just kind of the driver.
Yeah. I'm also so impressed too, like that you and your business has been involved in so long in telling the stories, because I love going to those events and seeing those vignettes and getting to know the participants better. I'm wondering, Chris, in your years of doing this, are there some common themes amongst all the participants that you've sort of picked up when you're telling their stories?
That's interesting. I think the common theme would just be the incredible dynamics. So every participant just brings something different to the show. I think back to several years ago, Keith Moen with the NSBA. He was treated at the eye care center at Saskatoon City Hospital, which is where the funds were going that year. So he had a personal story, and so often that is the case. You don't have to look far if it's a neighbor, a friend, a relative, a family member, a parent that's being treated at Saskatoon City Hospital, right? And with the acute care expansion, 109 beds, it's just going to be utilized even more, right? And there's going to be even more impact. So what we see is people from all walks. And this year, going into our 2026 show, we have 8 participants, 8 stars paired with 8 pros, and these stars are from different walks of life. We've done an intentional job of selecting different industries, different types of people, different personalities. They all have a unique story. So I don't know if I could say one thing specifically that is a commonality. Maybe just the nerves in regards to performing in front of, dancing in front of 600, 700, 800 people. We'll see, if we can pack the place this year. But regardless, it's always a good party, and the roar of the crowd. I mean, I've had butterflies before performances, but this was a unique experience for me, at least. And so I think that's something that everyone shares, is the sheer terror before taking stage and doing something that's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, but then do you find too, like, and maybe you found this yourself, but once, like, because how often is it one dance that you do that night, or is it a series of dances? Is it one?
Yeah, so unlike the show where you're performing every week, I can't imagine, right? So in this case, it is one performance, which is enough. Let's put it that way. So you get a 2 to 3 minute spot. You're working with your pro. You're rehearsing, say, a couple months leading up, and a lot of time goes into this. It's something to note. Our participants are working hard to entertain, right, and create the show. Our participants, the stars and the pros, are the show. They are the show. And we're just so grateful for everyone participating year over year for such a great cause. It's supposed to be fun. It is fun, but it's also a lot of work.
Yeah, no kidding. It must then be, once the dance is done, for yourself or like all these participants throughout the years, there must be a sense of, like, wow, I just did that. Like, in front of hundreds of it. I didn't realize how big the crowd was, but like that must be a sense of like, wow, I just did this.
For sure. It's almost like some of the reviews or comments, I guess, post-performance. I think back to Canna Reid. She said, you know what? What just happened? I blacked out. So every time I rehearse with her partner Katie that year, I black out, and we're like, that could be interesting, right? And so you rehearse enough, you get into that muscle memory, right? And so I think it's quite a release afterwards, and sometimes it can be bittersweet because you did the thing. It's all very exciting. You're proud. The crowd cheers. Hopefully you've fundraised a great deal, and it's all very exciting. But then the music stops and the lights go dark, and it's over, and the campaign's done. And your efforts are in the books, and that's that. And you're no longer a dancer anymore. I think some have followed through and continued into dance lessons, and it has kind of opened a new love or a new hobby for them, which is really exciting, right? But yeah, it's one of the ultimate kind of climaxes when thinking back to a professional or artistic endeavor or pursuit, right? And then it's it, right? So I think for our participants, you're kind of all in, or you should be at least, because you're only doing this once. And we've always said you get out of the event what you put in. So that moment when you're done and that feeling is going to be directly related to your efforts.
And that's such a really great point that you bring up too, because like you said, participants are working for months and months on this, and they might have a bit of a dancing background, or they might not. And then, like you said, they put all this work into it, and then in the span of 3 minutes, it's done. And then
it feels like a lot for 3 minutes, right?
Yeah. Gosh, I'm just like, it sort of reminds me, and obviously a different scale, but like you see Olympic performers and they work 4 years for it, and they've got like that one moment, and then
that one dive or that one race. Yeah, isn't that wild, right? So yeah, I mean, certainly a different scale, but yeah, I think that's an interesting comparison.
Yeah. Are you, so then when the actual event is happening, are you and your team, are you capturing it as well that night?
Yeah, so our participation, our relationship, our responsibilities over the years has been pre-production in terms of producing assets for marketing and for the show itself. So I say pre-production, but of course pre-show is maybe what I mean more so. But yeah, so we produce a message from the foundation, maybe a sponsor thing or two, the intro to the show, all of this playing on the big screens at TCU Place, big screens, big sound. It's really awesome. And then, of course, the features for all of the participants, showcasing their story, who they are, and, of course, their thoughts towards, the cause, and maybe a little bit about, their nerves going into the big thing, and maybe a rehearsal, funny story of sorts. And so, yeah, again, everyone brings their own flair. So us, the night of, I think part of the reason why it was our favorite event over the years, or one of them at least, was because the night of, in contrast to a lot of the events we work with, we are capturing, but we had a chance to just take it in and celebrate the efforts of the participants and everyone who has contributed to the show. So for Kirsten and I, it was a night to whoop it up and to celebrate. And so here we are on the committee now, contributing to the organization of the show. And and producing many elements. And so we're looking to elevate it this year, and we're really excited about it. We have some surprises planned. It's going to be a big year. Our participants are doing a great job. I think we're going to pack it, and so this year it's a little different experience. This is our first year behind the scenes in the committee role, but I should also know that it goes deeper. Last year I was asked, I think it was a week out, to judge, to stand in. So
you got to be a judge.
So I got to be a judge. I got to do my best Derek Huff, and it was so much fun. Yeah. And I loved it. And I think for me, I'm in no position. Let's just be honest here. I'm in no position to judge dancing. I am not qualified for this. But we are so closely connected to the participants throughout the experience. They come into the studio, we do their promo pics, we work with them on the video production side of things in regards to their features, and this year on the committee it's even more so. So we get to connect on fundraising efforts, consult in a little consult a little bit, and so there's so many layers to this whole thing. It's going to be really special to get up there and comment on the overall efforts of the campaign and these particular individuals who have worked so hard. So my contributions will maybe be less what I'm seeing that night, but speaking to the overall efforts, which is obviously a big part of it.
No kidding. You have done a really wonderful job of just detailing, leading up to the event, the work that goes into it, the night of. It is clear that this means a lot to you. Why is this so important to you?
Yeah, it's a great question. You got a lot of questions. You're very nosy.
It's my job. Where's my side hustle? Sorry.
Typically we're on the other side of things. So, but I appreciate your curiosity, and this has been a treat, right? So, for me, for Kirsten, for Waddy, for our team here at Sikpics, this is what it's all about. If we can use our skills to contribute, that's the dream. That's the dream. So, unfortunately, I can't do surgery. And my CPR is pretty piss poor. But we can hopefully create an environment and through our art tell some stories to engage the private sector, to fill in the gaps, and help our healthcare system. And so that's super important to us. City Hospital Foundation is just one of many charitable or nonprofit organizations that we do partner with throughout the year. Throughout the years, rather. We'll be coming up on 10 years. It'll be our 10-year anniversary here at Sikpics.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah. Don't blink. Here we are, right? And so, but I think back to working with Telemiracle, to working with Stars Air Ambulance, and Parkinson Canada, and Heart and Stroke, and the list just goes on, and it's just been a treat. It's the most fulfilling. Selfishly, it's the most fulfilling, right? So to tell these stories that are impacting our home, our city, right here in Saskatoon, where we live, work, and play, is so special to us.
I think there's such power not only in telling a story and sharing a story, but when it is a local story here in Saskatoon, and you realize just how connected the community is too. I think there's great power in that.
We're a unique space here in the world, it seems, where community is so important. I think larger centers, we're almost at the cusp. I think in Saskatoon, where you get any bigger, you maybe don't have that same sense of community. So yeah, forget 7 degrees of separation, it's 2. Yeah. And even just before we started rolling here, all sorts of connections, teetering on weird, right? It is like are you sure? I
know our paths have crossed in many different ways.
This is really wild that this is our first actual hangout, because there is so much overlap, right? And so yeah, I think coming together for community is such a special thing here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. We know we have a higher instance of volunteerism, and that's so special as well. And so I forget your original question, to be honest, but it's a pretty special place.
It is, and I applaud your efforts and your team's efforts for sharing these stories because it is so important. If people want to take in Swimming with the Stars, where can they get tickets? What are those types of details?
Yeah, well, they might want to get on their horse because things are moving.
Okay.
So our phones are blowing up. A table is sold, and so the committee's really excited.
That's exciting, hey?
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And we still got some ways to go here. So the big event is January 31st at TCU Place, and it's going to be jumping. And it's all for a great cause. And the thing about this event is that it is, a party. So we're excited about the after party. We're excited about dressing up. We're excited about having some good food, some good drink. We're excited about, all of these incredible performances and letting loose a little bit for a good cause, right? So, tickets are available on our website, but they are moving. And so we're excited to give away two today on the show. So a lucky listener, I don't know how you're going to present that exactly. I'll leave that to your capable hands. But yeah, two tickets to get in on this and what could be a sold-out show here. So pretty excited to pack the place and party.
That's very, very kind of you. So thank you to you and your committee. And thank you for all those details. You've been very generous with your time and meeting me here on a Saturday afternoon. I have one final question for you. What was the music that you danced to?
Sure. Yeah. So it's funny. I went in, can I do a rock and roll? The theme was Icon. So this year, our theme is Broadway. And so we're really excited to showcase some of the incredible Broadway musicals and music, Broadway adjacent music, I guess, and themes for our dancers, right? So the themes are, they're hardly strict, but they do guide the night a little bit. So use your imagination without giving anything away. Some of the favorites on Broadway will be featured, and I think that's going to make for a really special night. So for me, I went in and I sat down with Kennedy and said, okay, well, I have a rock and roll background. I got a music background. Can we dance to? And she's like, okay, well, that's not a dance style. So we had to work on that. But we came up with like a jazz funk, which essentially, was, some sharp movements and, pretty playful and kind of like a freestyle of sorts. And so, but she was just awesome. So yeah, we danced to Let's Get Rocked by Def Leppard. So the play was, they were an iconic rock band and kind of got me started years ago, when learning how to play myself and honing my chops. And yeah, so we had a little rock out there on stage. And yeah, it was something. I'm a lot more comfortable with a guitar dancing up there, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I love it. Chris, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing not only all the great stories in terms of Swimming with the Stars, but your own personal connections too. It is so clear how much this means to you, and I think when someone has that passion, it's just infectious. So I wish you the best of luck on January 31st, and yeah, thanks for taking time for the podcast.
I appreciate so much, Eric. Keep doing what you're doing. There's a lot of incredible stories here locally, and I think this is important work. And to shine a spotlight on all of the participants in your podcast and all of your guests is pretty special. So thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I feel like we just scratched the surface. I could go on forever, baby.
I kind of want to listen to Def Leppard right now, so we'll do that. Thank you, Chris. Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.